Hello everybody, it's Ronnie with wipandchain. I work with Maggie and Lauren to bring you crochet tutorials, and we are in our September month series of granny squares. Look at this beauty. Beautiful. It's huge. It is a sunflower and it has the petals that just pop up off, and these you could quickly make some projects with this large as it is. It's pretty large, but I wanted to do this video for you because I just couldn't stay away from this pattern. This pattern is to die for. Getting around some of the petals, a little bit of a challenge for maybe some newer, but if you're advanced beginner, I think you got this. But we're gonna get started. I'm just using my stash yarn, believe it or not, and we're working with a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm using my clover, and we're gonna dive right into this. Come on over. Okay, let's get started on this beautiful granny square. Start with a magic circle. If you do not want to do a magic circle, that's really okay. You can do a chain 4, and then you slip stitch to the first stitch, and then chain 2. If you do the magic ring, just chain 1 more. And in this circle, you need to do 11 more double crochets. But I'm going to recommend, if you need to count, you can put a stitch marker in your first stitch, okay? Actually, let me find to see if I have one. Usually I have one floating around pretty easy. And the day I want one, guess what? I guess I don't have. Oh. Saving grace. Here she is. Okay. So I put in my first stitch. And then I marked it. So that's 1. So we need 11 more. Nine, 10, and 11. And pull shut and just count to be sure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you just slip stitch to your first stitch. Chain 2, that does not count as anything. And in your first stitch, take out your stitch marker, and put in 2 double crochets. Mark your first stitch, please. And then just put 2 double crochets in every stitch going around. So you have 24 total stitches. Okay, I'll meet you around. Okay, I got 22, 23, and 24. And then you slip stitch to your first stitch. Chain 1, and you cut your yarn. Okay. Now, turn to your yellow. you can pick any stitch that you want to go in. Make our first round of leaves. Okay. Chain 2. Oh, you want to mark, take your stitch marker and the next stitch, because you're going to have trouble seeing it with all the stitches that we're going to be putting in. That chain 2 starts as a half double crochet. Now you need to put in a double. And now 2 trebles. 1, 2, chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, see these 2 bars at the bottom? I go in these 2. Both of them. Grab some yarn, bring it up, and then slip stitch. And then you need another treble. And a double. And then a half. And the whole reason that stitch marker's there is because you want to slip stitch into that next stitch, and they're hard to see with all those stitches. And then again, slip stitch into the next stitch. And we're going to do another petal, but mark the next stitch, okay? And it's the same thing. It's a chain 2, double crochet, 2 trebles, chain 3, you slip stitch in those 2 bars, do another treble, double, and then a half. And this is the repeat all the way around. You would slip stitch in the next one, then in the next one do another petal, and you will end with 12. Okay? All right. And when you come all the way around, you have 12 petals. And then you just slip stitch and you slip stitch to where you started. Okay? Now, I want you to chain 4. And then you go behind the petal, and then you slip stitch right between these 2. You can pick the right side or left side. There's no wrong side on this. And you just slip stitch. Chain 4. And go behind the petal and slip stitch. And then you keep repeating this, and then at the end you will have 12 of them, if your counts are right. Okay, I will see you at the end of this. Okay, come around, you should have 12 of them. Okay, so now I want you to slip stitch, single crochet in your first chain. Chain 2. Now these have to be bigger, so we'll be doing 2 double crochets, 3 trebles, 1, 2, and 3. And then you do your picot. Chain 3, 1 and 3. And then you go into those bars. And then do 2 more trebles. 2 doubles, and then a half. Okay, and then you go to your next chain and you single crochet and start that again. It'd be chain 2, 2 doubles, 3 trebles with a picot, 2 trebles, 2 doubles, and a half, and you repeat that all the way around. We'll see at the end. Okay, after you get that done, just slip stitch and tie off your yarn. Now we're going to switch to green. I use a very dark green. You can use whatever color makes you happy. That's what's fun about crocheting. You can be so creative on whatever you want to do. Okay, so on the back petals, put your hook in the center again and tie on. Why is this? There we go. Pull it in. Put it tight. Now we have to make those chains to have something working again. So, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you slip stitch in between the back petals. Make sure you're getting the back petals just like that. And it's chain 5. Boy, I have you like super close up. Two, 3, 4, 5. Go behind your petals. And you slip stitch. One, 2, 3, and 5. Then you come over and you slip stitch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you slip stitch. And do that all the way around. Okay? Okay, when you go around, you should have 12 of them again, and then you slip stitch to your beginning. So, chain 1, come over to your first chain. On the yarn tail. There it is. Okay. Single crochet, chain 4, 2, 3, 4, come over to the next chain. Okay, single crochet, chain 4, come over to the next chain, single crochet. Now here is where we're going to make a leaf. Our first set, we're going to have 4 leaves. The leaf clusters are going to be our corners. Okay. So chain 2, we're going to do clusters now. Wrap your hook, go around, go through 2. 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 Wrap your hook, go around, and go through 2. Should have 6 loops. Wrap over, and go through all of them. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to do a treble cluster in the same one. Wrap your hook twice, go in, go through 2 and 2. Wrap your hook twice, go through 2. Oh, that one didn't want to work for me. Okay, wrap your hook twice, and go through 2 and 2. Wrap your hook twice, go through 2 and 2. Wrap your hook twice, go through 2 and 2. Wrap your hook twice, go through 2 and 2. And one more time, wrap your hook twice. That's 5 times. All right, 6 loops, wrap, go through all, chain 4. And then you do one more cluster of the doubles. Wrap twice, wrap twice, wrap twice, wrap twice, and wrap. 6 loops, wrap, go through all of them. Chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you made your first corner. Now your next one, just do a single crochet. Chain 4. Next one, single crochet. Chain 4. And you do your cluster, and that's how you do it all the way around. Okay, when you're coming around, just slip stitch into your beginning chain, and you can cut off your green or whatever color you choose to use. Now, if everything worked out right for you, it's hard to tell because this thing needs to be blocked. But what you just made are corners. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Let's get into our white. This is our border. Now, in the top of that treble chain, I want you to slip your hook right into that where you joined them. Okay. Through. Now I want you to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And put another double crochet in that same spot. Chain 2. Put 2 more double crochets. One and 2. All right. Now, I didn't put them in the, nope, they weren't in that. Make sure you get them in the same spot. Very important. There we go. There we go. Now, in this chain right next to it, put in 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here's your next chain. Put in 4 double crochets. 1, 2, and 4. Okay, go working across. Here's your next chain. 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have another one. 4 double crochets. And 4. I'm going to get rid of my tail here. Okay. Now you have a chain working up here. See it right there? 4 double crochets. And 4. You chain up here right before. 4 double crochets. And 4. Now you should be at the top of your next trebles. Put your hook right in that. Make sure it's in the double crochet in the treble. And 2 double crochets. Chain 2 and 2 double crochets. And then in a chain 4. And that's what you do all the way around. Now I will meet you at the end of this round. Okay, now after you've finished your first row of borders, it's actually finally starting to sit right. You can obviously see your corners, you can see your leaves. Look at this beautiful petals. It's to die for. All right. I think I did one wrong down here, but it's okay. Anyway, so let's start the next row. Here's my thing. I'm going to recommend that you slip stitch over to the center, the chain. Which is chain 2 or chain 3, into double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And then I want you to double crochet all the way over the corner, but don't forget this stitch sometimes gets missed. Make sure you push it over. So you're just going to double crochet in every stitch over to your next corner, and I will see you at the corner. Okay, when you reach the corner, you crochet, double crochet all the way up to it. The corners, get 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. I'm going to remind you again, make sure you push that over so you can catch that stitch, because some people miss it, and I used to be one of those some people all the time. When I was first learning, I didn't know, is that a stitch? Is that not a stitch? And no matter what choice I made, it usually ended up being wrong on that pattern. But everything has an absolute learning curve. But this sunflower that we're doing, it's just magnificent. It's a very large granny square, but look at it. Have you seen any other crocheted sunflowers this beautiful? I honestly haven't. Now you can do the center as dark brown as you want, or different color. It is absolutely your choice. But I'm just double crocheting my way over to the next corner. So every time you get to a corner, you will do 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. So look at my error. It's very apparent what I did. I was watching TV and I made, almost looks like cat ears for my petal. But you know what, for me, unless you're really looking, you're not sure. Maybe you are. But see, I'm a crocheter and so are you. So it's probably very, very noticeable for you. But this is why I wanted to show you that, you know, there's times I make mistakes too. And some mistakes are worth ripping out, frogging, and some just aren't. So you have to make the decision. This far into this granny square, I would think I would just restart the whole granny square if I'm making a pattern for somebody, because that's a lot of frogging to get back to that. Like a lot. But again, it's personal preference, personal choice. What I would do for me does not necessarily mean that's what's going to work for you. So just coming around and do one more corner with you. 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. And don't forget that stitch. Okay, I'll see you at the end of this. Okay, I am coming around to my corner. This is the last row of white. Now you can stop here or you can put a border on. It's totally your choice. I do the border of the same color as the sunflower, but it's your design, your colors, your schemes is completely your call. Now you might struggle with these stitches because you slip stitch in them to get over, but you still need to do your double crochets. And when you're over, then you slip stitch to the top, the chain 3, and chain 1. And you cut that yarn. So now again, this isn't blocked, but here it is, the border without, and here's the border with. Makes a difference, don't it? Big difference. Again, your choice. But if you want to do the border, I'm just going to start you on it and show you how to do it. Slip stitch in it. Any stitch you want. You can start in the corner, you can start in the middle. It really doesn't matter on this. Okay. Chain 1. And the corners get 3 single crochets. And then don't forget that stitch right there. So then you just single crochet, 1 in each stitch, into the next corner, and in each corner gets 3 single crochets, no chains. So after you do that, this is your final project. It's beautiful. And like I said, these are very big granny squares. You can make a blanket with these and like put these every third or something granny square, and you can make a plain granny square, and you can play with the colors. There's just so much you can do with that. But I want to thank you so much. We're getting so much love. It's crazy awesome. Thank you for taking the time to watch our videos. We really appreciate it. And if you could, can you please hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom, and come find us over at Facebook under WIP for Work in Progress and Chain. From Maggie, Lauren, and I, we thank you for everything. See you in our next video. Happy crocheting, everybody.